Barry, it was a bit of a strange game start to finish. Talk us through that from your perspective.
Good comeback from our point of view. Silly sending off. I spoke to young Ross about it. He understands that when you get a yellow card you can't make a challenge. So I've no complaints about the second yellow, but maybe I should be looking at that when he did get the first yellow. I was thinking in my mind that I maybe make a change. But listen, I didn't. Ross gets sent off, and then you have to go and kind of go back to what we've done in Thursday night. Have to make a few changes at half time, and I thought the changes certainly kicked us on a bit. So yeah, overall, I'm never really happy drawing a game, but under the circumstances, we've got to go back down the road. Pretty pleased.
You made 9 changes to your team before the game. On the TV commentary, Chris Sutton said that you could understand why you were doing that, but it was like you were waving a white flag. Do you feel that with a 95th minute equaliser, playing right to the death with 10 men, it proves that you weren't waving a white flag at all?
Look, I have no issue. Everybody has an opinion. When people say things like that, I don't really take interest. I've got a decision to make. I'm carrying a lot of injuries. There was a number of players having to be left behind. There was actually a number of players on the bench that probably I shouldn't have had on the bench. So I've got decisions to make as a manager. But the team that I put out, in my mind, in my opinion, was good enough to come up here and try and get the 3 points.
Can you take spirit from that last minute equaliser going into the massive game on Thursday?
Yeah, I'll take spirit. Probably in a couple of days if I get good news from the medical staff, if I'm going to have another 3 or 4 players fit and available. I'll just need to wait and see. But look, the one thing about them is I questioned it last week against Hibs. I questioned the character and the desire. We all know what happened in the Monday. Certainly the last 2 games, they've showed that they've certainly got that. We've got to play better, but we've got to try and keep 11 men in the pitch. That's becoming a recurring theme. So if we have 11 men on the pitch, then we've got a better chance of winning games. But when you go down to 10, I thought they stuck together, thought they worked ever so hard. You have to surrender a lot of possession, but they were willing to do that. I said that you have to sacrifice that, and hopefully we'll get that couple of chances. And we got the couple of chances. We obviously stuck them in the back of the net.
Who is touch and go for Thursday night? How close are you getting a couple back?
Well, I think you can see who wasn't in the squad. So I just need to wait and see the reaction over the next couple of days, because we left straight after training. So I'll find out tomorrow, Tuesday at the latest. But I'm not going to take any chances. I need people who you're never 100% when you play games of football, but I need people as close to that, because we know how difficult it's going to be.
Did you have to rest a number of players, Barry, today just because of Thursday?
No, I always had it in my mind, because people have been champing my door and asking me for an opportunity. So they got an opportunity today. It wasn't ideal when you go down to 10 men, it doesn't suit some players, so then I have to make the changes to get midfielders in who are kind of used to being behind the ball. So no, I had it in my mind that I was going to make a few changes. Some were enforced with obviously suffering a few injuries on Thursday night, but that's the reason why you carry a squad. That's the reason why I wanted to give some players the opportunity. It wasn't a case of coming up here and this was a dead game. It wasn't a dead game in my mind. You're coming up to Aberdeen, remember, you know what it's like up here. I was coming up here to win, and unfortunately didn't get that 3 points.
Young Curtis had a bit of a torrid time in the first half against Morris, but I thought he did well.
I disagree with you. In the first half. I thought the young man was excellent. I disagree that he had a tough time.
But second half, I thought he came on to...
I thought overall, I thought the full game until I brought him off. I thought young Finlay was really good. I must have been watching a different game, because I thought the first half the young man was excellent. And as I've said before, you've got to remember what age they are. We've not exposed them a lot. There's not been a lot of exposure, and especially coming to Aberdeen, it's intimidating at times. But I thought the young man, I was proud of him today. Proud of him.
Barry, on the pitch after the game, I think John Suter and yourself got involved with Graham Shinney.
Involved? No, I was just saying to Big Suits, just leave it, it's pointless. So it was a bit of handbags. So no, it's, you know what it's like, it's a bit feisty after a game. I don't mind a bit of feisty things going on, but I just told Big John just to leave it. What's the point in getting involved with him? And the big man just stepped away, and that's it. But I have no issues with that. People are passionate. I like to see a bit of passion. I think that's something that's missing in the modern game at times.
What was the thinking behind making Connor captain, and what did you make of the way he handled the atmosphere? Obviously getting a lot of abuse from home support.
Yeah, listen, the wee man can handle that. He knows what he was going to come in for, in terms of getting a bit of stick in it. You remember that he done a very good job at Aberdeen, and he was a good player for Aberdeen. Hence the fact that he wanted to better his career and go to Rangers. I thought he handled the occasion well. Obviously, Tav coming on obviously takes the armband out of respect, but I thought the young man was really good today. He's brilliant to work with, young Connor. He's got some things in his game that he understands that he has to work at, and I think if he works at them and he gets better at them, he'll become an all-round better midfielder.
How big an opportunity is this on Thursday, Barry?
Huge. Can't wait. I said to them there, we're going to have a rest tomorrow, and I'm excited about going, but I'm also respectful. It's going to be tough for us, but as a footballer, as a manager, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about getting into that sort of atmosphere, and what an opportunity we've got. The game's wide open. The main thing for me on Thursday night was making sure we were still in the tie, and the guys deserved with the performance to still be in the tie. And we'll go there on Thursday, having to know our jobs, what way we're going to play, because we need to get it spot on. We do really need to get it spot on, and then that's up to me and the coaching staff to make sure we do over Tuesday and Wednesday before we get into the game on Thursday.
As you say, Barry, you're obviously respectful of the Spanish opposition, but the way this team, you've been at every European game even before you were in the job, given the way this team has performed away from home in Europe this season, that must give you great heart as well. You would think the Olympiacos, intimidating atmosphere, Nice, Malmo.
Yep, it does, but I look at the last two games in terms of the last round, to get into the quarters. Fenerbahce and now Athletic Club, they're a step up. I'm being honest, they're a step up. I know Lyon, when we played them at home, they were very good middle to front, but it's a step up, so we need to be bang on the button with our tactics. I already know what way we're going to approach it and what way we're going to go about it, so there's going to be a bit of work on the training ground. But one thing about them is I'll give the boys a lot of credit, as they've been brilliant taking information on, because it's tough, because it's a different way that we're playing tactically, and with and without the ball as well, so we know there's a lot of work to be done, but we'll get there and we'll be prepared, ready to go on Thursday night.